Welcome to the channel on the surf. Here is the family, Sandra, Hector and Jack. My name is Jimmy and we are the family that lives on the surf. Let's talk a little bit about the cooling system on an inboard engine and how to do something that many boat owners have at least thought about and wanted to do but haven't done it. I've done this a couple of times on different boats and yeah. So let's start with your basic cooling system. Here you have the through hull, some kind of pump, an engine, and over here the exhaust hose. Seawater comes in from the through hull, a hose to some kind of pump through the engine and out the exhaust. Real simple and it works great, but especially if you have the boat in salt water, the engine is gonna corrode and not last as long as it should be. So what can you do about that? Yeah, you can do a fresh water conversion. Many new engines and new boats already have this, but old engines and old boats don't have it. It's seawater cooled. A lot of American boats still use seawater coolant. Why? I don't know. What do you need to do a freshwater conversion? It's basically quite simple. You need some kind of heat exchanger and one more pump. So what you do, you disconnect the through hull, take that hose, connect it to the heat exchanger, disconnect the hose from the exhaust. So now you have made a closed loop, so the coolant are flowing through the heat exchanger, the pump is pumping it around through the engine and so on. Then you need one more pump. You connect that to the exhaust and that to the through hull. So now you have two systems. One that's taking in seawater through the heat exchanger and out the exhaust. That cools the antifreeze system that's in the engine. And yeah, quite simple, huh? Well, in reality it's not that simple, because yeah, if you have a brand new engine that's never been used, it is this simple. But if you have an old used engine, it's not that simple, because the cooling channels in the engine is corroded, and yeah, they are corroded to some degree. But when you add antifreeze to the cooling system, that's gonna start to dissolve all the craps inside the cooling channel. So you need to add, I don't actually know the correct name, I call it crap trap. It's basically something like this. Some canister in metal, two hose connections, and you just put them, let's take that away, something like that. So now the antifreeze system goes through the heat exchanger, through the engine, to the crap trap. Antifreeze comes in here, comes out here, and in the heat exchanger. This one catches all crap, debris and rust and so on, so it don't get stuck in the heat exchanger, and then you have a lot more problems if you don't add this. Yeah, so that's basically your freshwater conversion. But is it still this simple? No, it's not. You need to clean the cooling channels in the engine, in the exhaust manifolds and so on. And you can actually need to be real brutal when you do that. I usually start with a high pressure wash, take the head off, take the exhaust manifolds off, and then just jam that high pressure hose in the cooling channel. And sometimes I use wires, drilling machines with some kind of brush on, and it can be really hard to get everything out. So what I do is some kind of mechanical clean and then a chemical clean, and when that's done, it is this simple. But the cleaning is not easy. The engine in the boat we have right now is already freshwater cooled, but the exhaust manifold is cooled with seawater, and I'm gonna switch out the exhaust manifold and I'm gonna convert the exhaust manifold to the antifreeze system to make it last a bit longer and get the engine temp up faster. So that one I have is really old, so I'm gonna clean that, and how to do that I'm gonna show you right now. So let's have a look on that. Let's go outside. So now it's just to go inside, let this dry, seal it up once more. Yeah, so now it's time to seal it up again. And yeah, I use some high temperature liquid gasket because it's old surfaces and there are some pores and stuff like that. So it's just easier to get a good seal. This one is special for high temperature. There are a lot of different brands and so on. Yeah, just one that can handle higher temperatures. Yeah, and because it's a really long plate and we want this to be nice and straight, we're gonna start in the middle and then move like that. So we start in the center, work our way out. So now it's just to wait about half an hour or an hour and let this liquid gaskets like semi-cure. So now then we just tighten it until we feel that it's some resistance. So now it's just wait half an hour to let this liquid gasket cure, not fully, but gets a bit spongy instead of sticky. So, and then we're gonna tighten it fully. So I will be back in about half an hour. Yeah, so now it's been about half an hour. Now it's time to tighten it fully. And you don't need to apply a lot of force, just tighten it a bit. Ta-da! So now it's just to wait, tighten it some more, and then put it back in the boat. So see you when we are in the boat again. Yeah, so I've sealed the exhaust manifold back up again, and I don't know why, but the camera didn't record. So the thing I did, I connected a couple of water hoses, one each side, and just stand them up and filled it with water mixed with citric acid, let it sit for 2 days, and then just hooked the water hose up and flushed it. So now it's ready to be mounted in the boat. It was actually quite clean inside, so the high pressure washer took the most of it, but I did a chemical clean anyway. There are two chemicals that's normally used for this. It's citric acid. That's not so hard on metal, so it's preferred to use that. If that doesn't work, there are salt acid, and be real careful with that because it's basically eat metal, so yeah. And when you do that, you also check for leaks, because you let water sit in it. You draw a line on the hose, and after 2 days check it. If the water level still are on the line, you have no leaks and no water drops or anything on the outside, then you are good to go. So now we're gonna put it back in the boat. And as usual, if you already haven't, subscribe to the channel, and there are a couple of support links down below. There are a PayPal account. There are a Patreon account if you want to see more footage that's not on YouTube. And there are also an Amazon wishlist. You just add the things to your basket, order it as if you would buy them for yourself, but they are ending up at my place instead. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it, so yeah. Like and subscribe. See you next time.